American television programme. We all watch telly in different ways these days. I record everything and watch it much later. Hello, viewers, how was your Easter? I sometimes actually record the news. Don't tell us I'm only up to last Thursday. And people hop around on the channels, don't they? A friend of mine channel hops during the ad break, and one time she totally forgot what she'd originally been watching. Wandered around the channels for a bit and eventually stumbled back into what she'd been watching, a documentary about amnesia. When fast-forwarding in the advert breaks, some people should only be allowed to do ×6. Honestly, ×30 is too much for your pet. When you can hit the Doritos logo and not end up at the end credits, I might allow you to try ×12. Unless it's a football match. I'm shit hot. I can do ×30. Sponsored by... driving, but I'm not the biggest fan of car programmes. There's Top Gear, Fifth Gear. I can't be arsed with all of that. I'm waiting for a show called Automatic. Top Gear is seen in 170 different countries. Although in 169 of those countries, people are just watching to find out what terrible things are being said about them. I was watching a Top Gear special the other day, or Richard Hammond, as he's more commonly known. I hope the series goes on forever so we can see what the presenters want from a car when they're 85.
There's no leg room, it's too noisy, and there's nowhere to put me cup.
They have a feature called Star in a Reasonably Priced Car. The best thing is the leaderboard, where the celebrities' times are ranked with allowance made for road conditions. You get things on the leaderboard like this. Steve Coogan, dry. Carol Vorderman, slightly damp. And Davina McCall, very wet. Why still all the fuss about the Stig being secret? They unveiled them twice and they were just normal blokes. You might as well have an anonymous cleaner at the office.
Who took the bins out last night? Mystery Jean.
There's a Where's Stig annual, and if you want to know where's Wally, he's sitting between James May and Jeremy Clarkson. Not a lot of people know this, but Jeremy Clarkson doesn't have any points on his driving licence. Nice to have it confirmed that Jeremy Clarkson is completely pointless. I've never been asked to go on Top Gear, and I'm really glad. Do they make you parallel park on it? Can you get that car between those two cars? No, I can't. I'll just drive round till one of those cars leaves. On TV car shows, they never review cars like I would. Does it smell nice? Does it have a little compartment for sanitary towels and a twirl? Does it have a nap lever? You know the nap lever? I love a nap lever. That's how I pick a car. Comedians often sleep in their cars if they get tired when doing long drives. And I don't want a turny wheel. I want a nap lever.
Boston.
Sat-navs are great. Women don't have to struggle with maps and men have something else to ignore.
Thank you, but I think I know where I am.
You can get celebrity voices on your sat-nav now. I've got George Michael on mine. You haven't reached your destination, but hurl yourself out of the car anyway. should do one.
In 200 yards, you will have reached a Greg's.
I know you're going to Aberdeen, but you're bound to get peckish. In America, in the 50s, apparently 70% of girls lost their virginity in a car. Just be more careful of the gear stick when you get in. I do like driving, but I think I need a little more convincing about car programmes. So please welcome top TV motoring expert, Quentin Willson. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Now, I like the colour, but where's the rest of it? I think you should drive. Get yourself in, love.
Where are we going?
Would you like to know? Okay.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelt on, safety
Always,
first, Flower.
always.
Seatbelt on. Did you mind if I put my boobs on the outside of it, though? I don't like it down the middle, or I can't get it in.
Do you want...
I'm fine. I'm in. And I've got the boobs. Is that all right? That's better, isn't it?
That's
boobs
lovely.
on the outside. Right. Smashing. Now, thanks very much for joining us on the show. Mind the gear stick and none of that. Ooh,
No.
I'm just reaching for the handbrake. Does it feel like a thigh? I don't think so. You are a motoring aficionado, a journalist and an all-round expert.
So they say.
So what I'd like to know is, have you ever had sex in a car?
Yes.
Were you in the front or the back?
In the back.
You were in the back?
Yeah.
Were they in the back as well, or was it like this sort of setup where they had to lean over?
Well, it was... Both the seats were back down, so it was kind of like a handy double bed.
Oh, you'd planned it.
Yeah, meticulously.
Meticulously, you dirty bugger. Do you ever fantasise about two ginormous airbags going off in your face?
Occasionally.
Don't we all, love? Don't we all? You say the way to save money is to pretend like you've got your nana in the back seat.
Yes, to drive like you've got the old people in the back, so you drive progressively.
But that would frighten the shit out of me because my nana's been dead for 10 years.
I can see that.
Did you decide on your hairstyle after driving an open-top car?
Yeah. It's the wind chill effect.
Just go with it.
Aerodynamics, absolutely.
Have you got a personalised number plate, or do you just think they're for dicks?
They are a bit dickish, because you can get some really, really bad ones. B16NOB, big knob.
Somebody's got that?
Oh, yes. Somebody's paid hundreds of thousands of pounds for it.
Wow.
So, yeah,
that tells me that they probably haven't. Okay, now I've got a compartment here. This is good. That's good. It's got some of... They're the nighttime ones.
That's good to know.
It's good to know, because they're super, so they're not quite the full I am.
No.
Because the full I am you need ours for. So I've got those.
The seats will be fine.
Yeah, the seats will be fine. And in the same compartment, I've got a multi-pack, so if you get peckish, just give us a shout.
But this is what they should have on car programmes,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Thank you.
Not Lamborghinis.
No, it should have where do I put my sanitary towels? Some people think that a car is sort of a penis extension, don't they, if it's a flashy car.
A lot of people think that.
Why don't all rabbis drive convertibles?
It's a very good question. You have to ask a rabbi.
I will, next time I see one. What do you drive?
I've got quite a few cars. Some of them are old, but I drive the original penis extension car, the Jaguar E-Type, which has got a very, very, very long bonnet.
Oh, promises. Just excuse me, just if you don't mind while you're driving, I'm just going to get me tash. I've got me tweezers. I've got another little compartment just for tweezers. And I'll just have a little go. Oh, you bold fucker there. Got it. Yay. You can have that back now just in case it's important. You're welcome. What do you think is the worst car in the world ever? I love that you just straightened your mirror, even though we're technically not going anywhere. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Now you've spoilt it for them.
Because they really thought that we were driving
I know,
somewhere.
and so did I.
Which is your favourite Magic Tree air freshener? Is it like lavender or black ice or...?
I've not had the black ice one.
Oh, you should.
I've always had the lavender ones.
Lavender? Your cars must all smell like old ladies. It's because your nana's in the back, isn't it?
Yes,
That's
she is.
why. Put the lavender in for her. Now, whose voice do you have on your sat-nav? Do you have a voice on your sat-nav?
No, I just have a normal disembodied female voice.
Is that how you like your women? You've been a brilliant guest, thank you ever so much, but you are a terrible, terrible driver.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Willson. Thanks very much, love. You know what I've noticed? We all really love a good old gruesome murder, don't we? There've been loads of them on telly this year. What I want to know is, why is it okay to watch a murder on the telly with your family, but not a sex scene? If a nipple is licked, you instantly turn over. But if that nipple is being removed by pliers,
You stay there, Granda. You enjoy this, Granda.
crime drama can teach you all sorts of things. CSI taught me how to find out who ate the last biscuit. Me. Did you see The Fall? Yes. It was a crime drama where we saw a serial killer at work and watched senior police officer Gillian Anderson follow his trail. It's quite nice knowing who did it. Oh, it's good to feel a little bit smarter than Gillian Anderson.
Not so clever now, are you, Scully?
If she'd stayed in and watched telly on Monday night, she'd have known straight away. In one episode, the killer strangled a woman, then spent time preparing her body afterwards. It was horrific. I was watching it with my friend. The killer bathed her, painted her nails, posed her on the bed and covered her bits. We were just watching silently. Then he cut some of her hair off and sniffed it. At that point, my friend said, "Now that's creepy." You know, sometimes when you're doing something you shouldn't, do you ever think, God, I hope I don't die now? I've made a list of ways you wouldn't want to be found dead. On a sex line. What if you hadn't hung up? Your family saying we couldn't afford a funeral, his phone bill was huge. Watching internet porn? You think you're having a heart attack, but instead of ringing an ambulance, you choose to spend your last moment minimising and bringing up solitaire. With your family saying we didn't know you liked solitaire that much. Your dying words should never be delete me browser history. Lying in a bath full of trifle. With my family saying we didn't even think it was for children in need. With an orange in your mouth, you know that thing that some people do. Eating fruit. I'd hate to die eating fruit. My family saying we had no idea she was into this sort of thing. It's like we didn't know her at all. I often eat chocolate in bed in hotels, and sometimes when I finish the bar and slide down under the covers, I create real skiddies on the sheets. It was just me twirl. So I leave the twirl wrapper out so the cleaner can make the connection. She goes, "Oh, ah." And if I actually shit myself, I leave 5 twirl packets out. In cop shows, they often refer to hookers doing tricks. Well, like what? Making balloon animals? Just pulling rabbits out. My favourite favourite crime show when I was a kid was Cagney and Lacey. Due to her determination and anger, Cagney was often referred to as a hot dog. I'm not sure we have the equivalent phrase in the UK.
Hey, that DCI Tennyson, she's a right recently microwave pasty, isn't she?
The killing was massive, wasn't it? The thing about subtitles is that you can't eat your tea while watching it. Because you look up again, oh, bugger, I've missed a bit. But I have discovered one thing you can do while watching the killing. You can dry your hair. Still following everything. I like when they start the cassette player to record the interviews. I'd give too many details.
It's the 10th of December, 1430. The accused is sitting opposite me now. He's got lovely eyes. It's 19 degrees, though apparently it's going to be glorious on Sunday. Here's a song for all you lovers out there.
One of my favourite crime shows on telly is Law & Order UK. Law & Order is based on the MIU team, or Mew, as I like to call it. I only watched it because I thought it was about cats. Star of the show, Bradley Walsh, is the first crime show actor ever to simultaneously host a quiz show. I'd like to see more of that. Maybe Jim Bowen in a British version of Columbo.
Just one more thing. You've won a speedboat!
To assist in my crime drama investigation, please welcome Bradley Walsh. Hello, lovely Bradley. Welcome to the show. How are you, Flower?
I'm very well, Sarah. Thanks very much. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Now, you are in Law & Order. Which one are you? And who plays Laura?
Well...
Now, Law & Order is an American show starring Ice-T, and they also have NCIS Los Angeles starring LL Cool J. So, Bradley, do you think when it came to making the UK version that you were the first choice?
Yes.
Or maybe they approached Dizzy Rascal?
No, what happened was eventually if they weren't getting... you know, in the American version, I've been asked to go in the American version, and they asked me to change my name. I was just going to be called TWAT.
Now, Law & Order, should there be a cheaper spin-off called Blame and Claim?
Yeah, probably. I'd like to be part of that. That'd be great.
Now, Law & Order is half legal investigation, half courtroom drama. So is the second bit basically form filling? Because that's what a lot of courtroom stuff is, isn't it?
You see, they get to sit in a studio all day in the warm in court, and normally we film it across the winter, so Muggins here has to start filming at 5 o'clock in the morning in the snow and the rain and the sleet. Yeah, it's just like a Friday night out for you in Newcastle, you guys.
Shut up. I don't go home. In Law & Order, your character acts as if he's seen it all before. Is that because he's seen the American version? Why do I have to have a UK version of Law & Order? Is it because the American high-speed chases don't work on our narrow roads?
What we have to do, we haven't got the budget of a big show like that. So what we have to do, when the American ones speed off and they get the guns and they jump in the cars, it cuts to the English one and you see me just saunter along and get on a bus.
You've starred in a few British versions of American shows. Wheel of Fortune, Law and Order. What's next? Like Baywatch set in Morecambe? With people just eating chips on a bus? Or in slow motion? You in an orange swimsuit, I can picture it now. Shouting, out of the water, the sewage outlet's backing up. Did you prepare for the role by breaking shitloads of laws?
No, I prepared for the role by the method.
Did you just read your lines and then remember them? Yeah. Who is your favourite screen cop?
Well, you alluded to him earlier on, Sarah. I loved Columbo and also loved Kojak.
That's good. I mean, I prefer Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood, obviously, because he always had a Magnum in his pocket. I'm the same, but with a cornetto normally. Do you ever take the handcuffs home? That's a yes, isn't it? Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
You've never taken them home?
No.
No.
No, I don't use handcuffs in the show.
You don't use handcuffs in the show, so you had to buy your own from a sex shop. That's totally a yes. Law and Order UK is just one of loads of international versions of the show. Do you ever meet up with the other ones at, like, international summits and swap tips and stuff?
No, actually, our show, the British version, now gets dubbed into about 6 or 7 different languages. So my voice gets dubbed into French, Danish, I believe, Swedish, Italian.
Wow.
Et cetera,
so
et cetera.
you're probably quite sexy in other countries then. Do you ever get confused for an actual policeman?
I get confused in my own mind and often become a policeman and tell people off.
Really? And did it...
Yeah.
In what situation? What have you told somebody off doing?
Well, I've caught people in hotel rooms making skid marks with chocolates on their pillows.
You've been such a brilliant guest. Thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Walsh.
Thanks, Sarah.
Now, I tell you what I like on telly, and maybe it's because I'm around a lot during the day, but I love quiz shows, although I'm not very good at them. I used to hate Countdown because it made me feel thick. I like it now. I'm much better at it now. Ever since you can pause the telly. I used to love Are You Smarter Than a 10-year-old? Mainly because there's very little that makes me happier than a really smug, clever child crying on the telly. Just because they don't know the difference between equilateral and isosceles triangles. The only reason they get things right is because they learnt them last week. I think there should be a version of the show where they have to do the things we have to do. It would be called, Are You As Depressed as a 40-year-old? And the things they'd have to do would be change broadband providers, try to explain to a mechanic what's wrong with your car. I once used the phrase, it sounds like there's a budgie under the bonnet. They'd have to bleed a radiator and lie to a doctor about how much they drink. But why stop there? What about for the older generation? How about, are you as confused as an 80-year-old? With questions like, what used to be here? Was it better in the old days? And is it A, warm enough, or B, not warm enough? I tried Nick Grimshaw's panel show, Sweat the Small Stuff, and I liked it. But if young people get their own panel show, then older folk should too. I've come up with a few titles for panel shows for older people. Smock the Week. Never mind the immigrants. 8 out of your 10 cats. Instead of would I lie to you, it would be can I lie down for a bit? QI would become Q here. And my favourite, who do you think I am? Games you play at home are often turned into telly, like charades became Give Us a Clue. But there is one game that's not on the telly but should be. The Great Big Family Row. What are they playing for? A share of Nana's house. I love Deal or No Deal. It's the only programme on TV with more red boxes than embarrassing bodies. Do you think Noel Edmonds gets annoyed when he's constantly interrupted by phone calls while he's at work? I've arranged with my bank to do everything by email rather than on the phone, as then I can reply to them when I get in from a gig at 3 in the morning. They rang me recently and said, it says on your file that you don't want to be contacted by phone. Is that still correct? So I hung up and emailed, yes! I especially love Pointless. Alexander Armstrong always asks the contestants where they met. I'd love it if one of them said, he's a dick, but he knows about classical music and geography. There's only ever one category the average person knows anything about. Would you like Russian poetry, lunar geology, China's emperors, or X Factor winners? What do you think? I love Richard Osman on Pointless. He's like a tea-time Stephen Fry, and he looks like Mr. Muscle went to university. What if I said that he's with me in the studio tonight? That would be pointless. Hello, I'm good, how are you?
Very well.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's lovely to have
It's
you
a
here.
pleasure.
So, Richard, I read somewhere that you'd filled Anne Robinson's old slot.
I'll be honest, it took me and Xander both to do that.
I love the undeniable sexual tension between you and Alexander Armstrong. Would you describe it as a bromance? Like, would you be the big spoon?
People do say I like the unrequited sexual tension between you, to which I always say it's not unrequited.
What was it like to be voted Heat Magazine's Weird Crush of 2011?
That's all right, isn't it? You can't say weird crush without saying crush. That's the way I look at it.
You can't say a weird crush without saying the word weird
Yeah.
either. Millions of people love the show.
Thank you.
Who do you think they are? Well, no, but it's a certain time of day, isn't it? So it'll be old people, it'll be students, it'll be people who are bedbound and just can't find the remote. People trapped in their sofas. Comedians, hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if you left anyone off, but I don't think you did.
That's it.
No, but at 5:15, a lot of people finish work at 5.
And then you get home as quickly as you can so
To
you
watch
can watch
Pointless.
Pointless. That's why it's not on at 5 o'clock, it's on a 1:15. Gives you a bit of time to get in the bus.
Exactly right.
Thinking.
That's where the chase goes wrong, starting at 5 o'clock. No one's getting home at 5 unless you work from home.
Well, you wouldn't say that if Bradley Walsh had been in the studio.
Yeah, but he's not here, is he?
He's not.
He's in. I know he's got an underground sex dungeon, and I think that's where he was talking from. I think it was. It looked like it, didn't it?
It did look a bit like that. Did it take you as long to make up the concept of Pointless as it did for all of us to understand it?
Well, honestly, people seem to be able to work it out. So maybe it's you?
What is the stupidest answer anyone's ever given?
We had one the other day. Well, it's not the other day. We had words ending ZZ, and on the first podium, the contestant was a student, and he just immediately went, jizz.
Was it pointless?
It was pointless. It doesn't. In the dictionary, it doesn't mean what you might imagine it means. It means what an animal sort of looks like when you catch it out of the corner of your eye. The jizz of an animal.
The jizz of the animal in my head is something quite different.
Yeah.
And all of theirs.
But no. But you understand. A rabbit's jizz is very different to. Come on. A rabbit's jizz is very different to a cat's jizz, for example.
This is the longest conversation I've had about jizz ever, and I'm loving it.
Sarah, everybody here knows that's not true.
When you're sitting at your desk, what's on the screen in front of you? Is it porn?
All I'm looking at, Sarah, is just animals from the corner of my eye.
Do you think you would do well if you played Pointless?
I think, well, I should do all right. But sometimes categories come up which would trip you up.
Well, since I've got you here,
OK.
why don't we find out? Let's play my version of Pointless. Here we go. Right. Our first category is biscuits.
Good.
We asked 100 people. We didn't, it was just me. To name a biscuit beginning with B. So, Richard, what are you thinking?
This is my dream category. Literally.
Oh, really? This is a good category for you?
Yeah, of course it is. Bourbons is a more traditional biscuit. A Boaster is a traditional biscuit.
What are you going to go for, Richard?
So this is you. I'm going to go for a breakaway.
Ooh. You're going with breakaway. Yeah. Let's see if that's right. That's incorrect. I just don't like them.
I think if you check Wikipedia, breakaway is there.
Wikipedia doesn't say if I like it or not, though, Richard, and it's my show and my rules. Low scorers were Belvita breakfast biscuit. You
can't have a breakfast biscuit.
Well, they owe me money anyway, because I've been eating biscuits for breakfast for years. There was only one pointless answer, and that was Bob Knobs. Question 2. We asked 100 people to name things that are better if they're bigger. What do you think?
Where do I start?
That's quite a cocky answer.
Yeah. Literally
What do you
is.
think?
For the sake of politeness, I will say a pizza.
OK, well, let's see if that's a correct answer.
Really?
Sorry, Richard, with pizzas you just order 2, love. Some of the things people said are better if they're bigger included cakes, beds, tellies, and something else, dicks. Finally, we asked 100 people to name a good place to touch a lady.
Oh, dear.
Is this a good question for you? Is this a category that you were hoping would come up?
It is a good category for me, but except you've only asked yourself. So now I have to try and get inside you, if you like. Let's say, because I can see it, let's say the nape of your neck.
No, Richard, the vagina, because everyone else is pointless.
Of course.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Richard Osman.
Thank you.
Tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to talk about eggheads, where they successfully reclaimed a playground insult. Other shows in the pipeline include Four Eyes and Shit Trainers. We haven't had time to talk about Murder, She Wrote. Who came up with that title? Yoda? Murder, She Wrote. Holby Blue, the police version of Holby City. By the way, it's not a late-night version where the nurses' uniforms suddenly fall off and they have sex in the morgue. Good night.
In a return to stand-up, Dara O'Brien wows the crowd at the Edinburgh Playhouse in Crack Dealer next here on BBC Two. And then at 11:10, Michael Douglas stars as a troubled professor in the comedy drama The Wonder Boys.